Hello and welcome to Nonverbal Reasoning Test 13. Let's have a read of the question together. So there are two figures on the left with an arrow between them. Decide how the second figure is related to the first figure. There is then a third figure followed by an arrow and 5 more figures. Decide which figure is related to the third in the same way as the first two figures are related and choose the correct picture. So let's have a look at the example first of all. So we've got a very small right angle triangle here, and it's white in color. This right angle triangle in a mirror line is symmetrical here on the right hand side, but it's a much bigger white triangle. So what we're doing here is we're reflecting this triangle, small triangle, on the opposite side. So it's a complete reflection, it's a symmetry in between a mirror line, and then the triangle increases in size and the color remains the same. So here we've got a white small square. Now what shape does this turn into? So we know that it will turn into a big white square and it will be symmetrical, but because a square looks like a square, so it'll be exactly the same, and shape D will be our answer here. Let's go on to our next question. Now remember, let's have a look at the pattern. So you've got a plain square here. Now this square goes into a bigger square, all right? So here, this particular plain square goes into a bigger square, but it just changes, it just rotates. It rotates probably around about, what can you say, 45 degrees, all right? And then it's surrounded by a big gray square. All right, surrounded by a big gray square. So two things to know here. First of all, the small white square goes into a big gray square, same shape, and then the shape itself kind of rotates 45 degrees. Okay, it could be rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter, it's exactly the same thing. So for this small triangle is now going to be in the middle of a bigger gray triangle, but this small white rectangle will actually rotate around about 45 degrees. All right, so what I mean by rotation is, so if you look here, so let's pretend this is the angle here of this particular square. Now this particular square then rotates here. All right, so this triangle, all right, this particular rotation will probably just go around about here. So it'll be like this, roughly speaking. Okay, roughly speaking. There's a rotation. So that's how it will rotate. And of course, it will be in a much bigger triangle, and that particular triangle will be a gray color. So I'm just using blue instead of gray here. So it'll be roughly around like this. So will that be option A? Nope. So we can just cross that out. Would that be option B? Could be. So let's just put a question mark there for a second. Will it be option C? It can't be option C because the outer triangle has to be much bigger. So it can't be option C. So let's cross that out. Can it be option D? Option D, it potentially could be. So let's put a question mark there. No, can it be? No, it can't be because the right angle, the gray triangle has been turned to the right. So that can't be right. So the triangle, gray triangle has to be straight. Can it be option E? No, it can't be option E because again, the gray triangle has been slanted and the gray triangle has to be straight. So the correct answer in this case is going to be option B. Okay, so look carefully at the patterns and the sequences for the rest of the questions, and good luck with the rest of the questions. I will follow these up in our next lesson. Thank you.